Good morning, everybody. Uh-oh, my hair looks yucky. I'll play with it. It's not doing well this morning. That's a little better. See if I can get that up. So, there. I know, I'm a fidget. I can't help it. Anyway, here we are, another day on our journey. And I'm excited to talk to you about my bathroom scale. It is not our enemy, I promise. I promise it's not. It is a tool. So let's think about our this scale that we have in our bathroom and how it sets the tone for our day. You've got to look at the number on your scale when you step on the scale as a tool to help you refine what you're doing. Now think about it, just a little bit. It's not there to beat you up. It's really not. That's the body clutter that's in here that's causing you to beat yourself up. So I stepped on the scale this morning. And what I realized, yesterday I told you I had a plan for the day. I just had a kind of a plan for the day that I had kind of been stagnant for a week. And I decided I would play around with what I'm eating. I'm still doing the intermittent. You don't want to make too many changes at one time to what you're doing. You want to stick with one change. Now, what I did yesterday when I realized I had not lost any weight in a week was to look at, let's have some potty talk here. Look at if I'm a little bit constipated. So the last couple of days I've been eating more nuts. And I don't eat much during the day, but I will have a handful of nuts. And that always helps with getting a little fiber. Fiber is our friend. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Fiber is our friend. I'm crooked on the screen and I like lines to be straight. That's my perfectionism. I can't help it. I like balance too. Anyway, I'm thinking about putting a red cover on my chair because I want to be your red chair friend. I may do that today. I have one. So let's look at that number. So when I saw that the number had not changed in a week, I thought, well, I need to kind of address this. So last night I had a chef salad which had a little bit of meat in it and an egg, and it did have some cheese, but I did not eat the croutons. And I got a piece of salmon, cooked rare, which is the way I like it. And I put some lemon juice on that. I didn't put it on the salad because I don't want it mixed up. I don't want it all mixed up. Yeah, I know. I like to eat my fish and I like to eat my salad. So that's what I had for dinner. And here's the change that I made yesterday. I made two changes. Instead of putting the whole little 2 ounces of dressing on my salad, Robert was eating my croutons, so he was dipping them in my blue cheese dressing, and then he was, so I just left it in the little bowl, the little plastic cup that it was in, and I would dip my lettuce into, after I got it on my fork, I would put it into the dressing at the bottom, and you really just want the taste of it. It doesn't have to be all over the lettuce to taste it, just when it first hits your tongue. And that's the way I ate my salad. And I ended up only using about this much of what was in that tub. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot. That doing low carb, I don't know how many carbs is in this dressing, but there are calories in the dressing, but there's probably only about 10 grams of carbs total in the dressing, because it did have a little bit of a sweet taste to it, and you can pick it out when you haven't been eating anything sweet. You can pick it out real fast. Yeah, that's my sweet darling. He likes to dip the croutons in the. He likes crunchy. He had potato chips with his sandwich. You know, I don't like sandwiches at dinner, so I rarely eat them unless I'm having a hamburger. And then when I'm low carbing it, I don't eat the bun. I don't even get the bun, and I get everything served on a plate. And so this morning I decided I would, and one other thing I did yesterday, even though I told you not to do too many things at once, I upped my water intake. So every time I went to the bathroom yesterday, instead of drinking 1 8-ounce cup of water, I drank 2. So 2 by the time it was for us to go to dinner, I had 7 cups of water. And then at dinner, I had another glass of water. And I drank it all. And this morning, I decided I'm going to weigh again. And guess what? I was down 1 whole pound. Now, did that have to do with what I did yesterday? I don't know. But it was an interesting correlation. Let's just put it that way. Did what I do change me for a whole pound? But I will try it again. I will try. I'm trying to get a salad in, green leafy vegetables every day, and a meat about this size of your hand. That's what Leanne taught me, and that's what works. And it's refreshing. Now, if my scale had still been the same that it was yesterday, I would not have beat myself up. I would have probably used that as a tool to say, okay, maybe I'm not getting enough oil in my diet or enough water. I would have probably upped my intake of water. So yesterday I had a total of 8 8-ounce glasses of water in the bathroom. That's what I had. 8 for the whole day, because I had another one before in the evening. And then I had a glass of water at dinner, and I had water at my chair. I keep this full all the time. I know this isn't our water bottle, but I found this thing and it makes me happy. And I got a purple handle for it, and it holds 32 ounces. And so if I get that in a day's time, plus what I have had in my bathroom, we're good. Now, if you don't like the taste of your water in the bathroom, get a pitcher or a jug that you do and fill it up with water, that you filtered water, whatever you're using, and put that in your bathroom. But we have really good water. I like the taste of it, so I just drink it. Yes, she's live. Yeah, there's Laura. Wow, we got the whole team's here. Yay. So don't let that bathroom scale set the tone for your day. Make it be a puzzle. Let that number be a puzzle for you to try to figure out what's going on. And if the scale number stays level for the whole week, you may need to start charting. Like when our children were little, we knew when they had a bowel movement. Sometimes we're not eating enough fiber. We can address these things easily if we know what's. Well, I have a trigger for every time I go pee, I drink 2 cups of water. That's it's I piggybacked the thing that I have to do, which is go pee, with drinking my water. And it keeps the pump primed. And drinking the water also helps with the other situation of being a little, as my Mama Louise would say, stove up. So drink your water. It keeps, you can't flush the toilet without water. Well, same thing with our body. The water we drink flushes out the impurities that are in our body. So where the water goes, the salt goes, and where the salt goes, the water goes. Now, I've increased my intake of salt a little bit because I don't want to be flushing potassium. Because when you flush your potassium out of your body, your heart flutters, and there's a lot of things that go on when you lose a lot of potassium. So I read this in the book Why We Get Fat. It's in the last couple of chapters, so skip to the end. And if you'll increase your salt, it'll flush the salt instead of the potassium. So I don't like Charlie horses. They are not fun. They are debilitating, and they wake you up in the middle of the night. And the first time I ever had a Charlie horse, I was pregnant with Justin, and I got hit in both calves, knotted up like this, at the same time. I still remember that, and that's been 44 years ago, and I still remember it. So let's not do any. Now, you need to check with your doctor. Eat a banana to increase your potassium if you have to. It's too many carbs for me, but you can eat a banana. There's lots of ways to get some more potassium in your diet if you need to. So let your scale be just a tool to help you get control of what's going on in here. Recognize when you're beating yourself up. If you get on the scale and you say something terrible to yourself, then you need to step off the scale and step back on the scale and say, hey, yep, I can use this information. This is information that I need to address a certain situation. And that situation could be not drinking enough water, I'm having too many carbs during the day, and I'm not in my ketosis anymore. So think about what you can do to change that number. And it's about one of 3 things. Well, calcium doesn't have anything to do with potassium. Now, if you have to take any antacid, I've been playing an important part. How many carbs are considered low carb? I think less than 30 are considered low carb. I mean, 25 grams of carbs are in an apple. So having low carb, no carb would be less than 10, I believe, but I'm not for certain on that. So everybody, let's get control of what we're thinking when you may have to, boost your own self before you get on the scale and say, I'm not going to let this number is going to be a tool for me. And it's just sort of telling you if you're going in the right direction. If you're going in the wrong direction, sometimes we have to make a U-turn and go or make a turn. It's probably a place we've never been before because we've been so brainwashed into believing that number between our toes is a representation of our inability to get control. But I want you to know that number is a tool for you. It is a tool for you. Now, Nancy, if you don't have a scale, then you can use your clothes or even a tape measure to know if you're going in the right direction. Well, you may want to wean yourself off of sugar or honey in your coffee, Jennifer. Could be a good thing to help you to just kind of wean yourself off of that. I used to have 2 teaspoons of sugar. That was 8 grams of carbs. There's 4 grams of carbs in 1 teaspoon of sugar. So Robert's building me a little tool to get those notifications gone. It's kind of going to be like my little flicking magic wand. So everybody, get out your body clutter control journal, and let's see what the next assignment is. Add weighing every morning to your morning routine. Now, I do it as soon as I get out of bed and I've gone potty. That way, if I've weighed before I've gone potty, and then I've weighed after. And a pint's a pound the world around. So if you have about 8 ounces of pee, that's a half pound. And if you wash your hair, that adds about 4 ounces to your weight. So I've done it all. But don't get a perfectionist about this. You can do this. You can do this. If I did it, anyone. And maybe you only want to weigh once a week, that's fine too. But I needed to see if what I did yesterday worked. And it did. I'm not going to lose a pound a day. That would be crazy. But if I lose about 4 ounces a day, then at the end of the week, 4 times 7 is 28. That's almost a little over a pound and a half. I mean, almost 2 pounds. So it could be that's a good pattern of 4 ounces a day losing. And then when you get to a plateau, you realize it's a plateau, and you may need to play around with your metabolism a little. That's what I did by not eating all the salad dressing last night and drinking more water. Joanne, you're probably right. It would weigh a whole lot more, because I remember when my hair used to be wet and it was down to my bottom side. It was hard. It would weigh heavy on my neck, and I would get bad headaches. So that's why I had to have it cut. And I have really thick hair. So think about weighing. And if you hadn't gone in and purchased this Body Clutter Control Journal, it's full of a lot of good information to help you think about it. It's like your workbook for the Body Clutter book. So folks, have a good day. What else is going on? We are still in our master bedroom. Mine's getting in good shape. I cleaned off my dresser yesterday. Robert had some things on there, and I have put them in a drawer for him. That was an empty drawer in his nightstand where he could find things. And I've washed some crystal stuff, little lanterns that I had on the dresser. I don't know that I'm going to put those back or not, but we'll see. And I've cleaned off a table in here. So we got a system going on. Part of my new routine, I'm trying to get some new Ask Fly Lady questions in the hopper. And every morning when I first get up, when I do my morning routine and then I sit down to have my coffee and start work, I am answering a new Ask Fly Lady question. And some of them I've made up because we don't get those questions because people don't want to talk about them. But anyway, I have a good one for day after tomorrow. I'm working 2 days ahead. let's see, does the Body Clutter book contain a diet? No, 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 no. We don't diet. You didn't know that? We don't diet anymore. This is a lifestyle change. This is our routines. We adapt our routines to be, love is an action word. Do you hear that? Love is an action. So we are taking an action to change the way we treat ourselves. So we're going to drink our water. We're going to eat food that is good for our bodies. And we are going to take care of ourselves. This is an action we are taking. This is not a diet. I mean, I'll never forget when Leanne and I wrote this book, we had a publicist, and she wanted us to do a spread in Woman's World or something. And every spread, every cover shot of a Woman's World magazine at the checkout in a grocery store was all about tape measures and I've lost 100 pounds and all that crap. And I just said to the lady that was our publicist, and I didn't get along with her because, believe it or not, I don't think she read our book. So I pretty much said, you didn't read my book. And we're not doing a Woman's World cover. It's not going to happen. You didn't read our book. And I asked my editor for a new publicist. I didn't want to work with her anymore. So this book is about changing the way we think in order to address the issues that have piled up, the clutter that is piled up on our bodies. And that comes in lots of forms. I mean, when we don't drink our water, we have dry skin. Dry skin, think about a desert. It gets lots of wrinkles in it. When something, a raisin, think about a raisin. It's dehydrated. A dehydrated raisin has wrinkles. Now, how do you plump up a raisin? You put it in water. So let's plump up. Let's get some water in our bodies so we don't have wrinkles on our hands. We don't have wrinkles on our face. I'll take my glasses off. I don't have wrinkles, folks. I may have a lot of natural collagen. Yep. But I'm plumped up. I feel good. I'm not swelled up because my rings are loose. Look at this. I couldn't have done that 3 weeks ago. They were stuck. Drinking the water gets the salt out of your system, which retains the water. Also, cutting back on carbs, and I've cut back on cheese and gluten. I'm not eating any gluten. Now, you have to be aware that when you're not eating breads, you could, because all white flour in our country is fortified with iron. Now, I want you to be aware that your iron could get depleted, especially if you're not eating meat too. So everybody, let's take care of ourselves. I've gone 24 minutes again today. I just don't know when to stop talking. I want to help you. I really want to help you. And let's love that number, because that number is you. That's between your toes. It's not a reason to beat yourself up. Stop it. Stop it now. Stop it forever. It's just a number. It's a tool. Numbers are meant to be tools. Do you hear me? I will talk to you tomorrow. And have a good day, everybody. Let's drink up. Drink your water. Drink up, folks. See you later. I love you all.